Okay, I'm going to be making this video in parts, and yesterday we posted a video that AMC game over, all the puzzle pieces coming together, the banking crisis, so on and so forth. Every single thing I stated in that video made sense, and it was good for me to take a step back, get a refresher, and figure out what's actually happening. And now looking at the charts, we haven't touched on the charts in quite a bit now. I want to show you where I think we are because I also got a refresher from the charts and kind of refreshed my brain, and it made me think. I was just charting before I started recording this video, and I am going to be making this video in parts for the meantime, for the reason that I don't want to forget where I was coming from. First, we're going to touch on AMC, but most importantly, I want to correlate this over to GameStop. GameStop's chart, something looks different. Something looks off in a good way. So without further ado, please hit the like button. It helps me out. Hit the subscribe button. Join us on this journey to financial freedom. Let's get into the video. AMC is currently trading at $5.20, down 2.72% on the day. And you can see over the past couple of days, we have been retracing. We don't want to focus on the price that's reported to us too much. What we want to focus on is how the algorithms are playing the stock. So what we're looking at with this retracement and this whole setup that you see right here, right from right around late December, this is exactly what we're looking at back here before the January squeeze, because it's playing out the same exact cycle. If I bring the drawings in right here, this is something that you would see. So over the past few weeks / month, we assumed we are in this red cycle, which is possibly the case. However, that doesn't necessarily mean we are going to immediately get a green cycle following that, even though we got it in the past, which is where you might say, well, why? Why is it different? Why are the algorithms different? If you take a look at the blue cycle that played out before the red, back here, back in September, before retail even, essentially accumulated everything, part of the stock, before they took the buy button away, this attached to this red cycle plays a very similar bar pattern on AMC. But what I want you to pay attention to is the two possibilities that we have. So the two possibilities is that it's finishing these cycles put together, which we could either A, have a green cycle, or B, have a blue cycle, which is something that looks to be playing out right now only if we played out the entire red cycle. That is what I want you to know. Only if we played out the entire red cycle. After the blue cycles and or red cycles, each time we have had a green, and what we want is a green. A green is when AMC ripped back in June and back in January and back here in February to March 2022, up to about now, after APE was issued, $21 before getting halted multiple times. Now, I want to jump over to the 45-minute time frame and show you the two scenarios that we're working with. So both scenarios play out pretty decently. The first one we have is if the red cycle continued to play out, this is something that you would see with AMC in the red retrace back down to this trend line right around $4.15, coming right to mid-June, right around June 12th. Now this is where things start to get good. Things start to look good. If we take a look on the daily time frame on AMC, the cycles we track, every single time AMC reaches a peak, these cycles time it. It's easy. You could play calls and you could make money every single time. That's how accurate these cycles are. This white box that we have right here lines up with peaks every single time for AMC, no matter the time, and that is exactly how good the cycles are. Well, it just so happens that ending this red cycle that we got back before the January 2021 rip when they took the buy button away would lead us right into that next cycle period for a peak on AMC, and it would also lead us into a green cycle lining up at the same time, and this is exactly where things begin to get interesting. Now, even if AMC plays out this blue cycle, which it looks to a T, by the way, that it's playing out, either way, AMC right now retracing right around $5, which it's heading to right now. And then the trajectory from there is whatever price action happens from, late May to mid-May to mid-June doesn't really matter. What matters is the price action that happens right around June 10th to June 30th, right around that end, which also leads up to the reverse split conversion, but we're not talking about catalysts in the video. I want to talk about the charts, and specifically the charts. GameStop gets me excited. GameStop is trading at $20.53, getting the slightest retracement. Now, we have been tracking this little area that GameStop is trading in right now, and I don't want to forget my train of thought here. So this is exactly what we have been tracking back here, seeing that we are going to get this little retracement and then get this pop and then play out this cycle once again. Now, if I bring in the drawings, what I thought is, okay, you know what, this is most likely what's going to happen. It's going to retrace, it's going to touch this trend line and play out that exact same way. Not exactly to a T, but very, very similar, right? Because that is exactly what cycles do. They rhyme, they don't repeat. Okay, so in my opinion, I was looking at it and I was saying, okay, well, that's exactly what it looks to happen. But just in case, let's check out another scenario and let's take it even further. I took a step back, and what I find is this right here, this entire section after GameStop got the buy button taken away, sold off, back down to $9, and then repeat, ran again, this cycle is this at a smaller scenario. What I did was, I said, okay, now all I did was take the bars pattern, right, from the first initial pop on this part of GameStop, and I dragged it out, put it over, and I said, holy shit, you cannot make this up. Even if the cycle, gets flipped backwards, this looks insanely similar as to when it sold off. Okay, this is where I said, well, if that's playing at a smaller scale, which it definitely is based on the algorithm, because this is when they got control of AMC and GameStop after the buy button was taken away. The buy button was never taken away since then, right? I said, okay, let's track this because now this is getting weird. From the first cycle, this played out 272 days. Initial pop on GameStop played out this cycle before the sell-off. The last peak, 272 days. That okay. Now, the new one, how come it's much smaller? 86 days. This is what the algorithm did. The first initial pop to the latest peak, okay? And then I said, okay, well, from between those cycles, let's take the bars pattern, okay? Let's take the bars pattern from what happened on GameStop, and let's see where we are now, and let's see if this plays out. Well, if you take that bars pattern and you drag it out to fit where GameStop has been traded, does this not look to a T to you the exact price action right now that GameStop is trading? Does this not drag out to a T with how GameStop is trading? Okay, now that I got you on the same boat, I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to show you where I'm coming from. 272 days, the first cycle that played out. Now you have 272 days to where we're trading at right now, but what you're missing is this peak in the middle. Now, GameStop has this potential, okay? And I don't want to get your hopes up. I don't want to spread hopium, but let me show you what I'm talking about. If you drag from this peak, from this start back to January, because this is exactly how GameStop would be tracking and exactly how the latest cycle tracked, and flip it, this is what you would find. This is what it would look like. GameStop, based off of the cycle that is tracking, has a chance. A chance to have a major rip. And look where it lines up. This lines up mid-June, exactly like AMC, a little bit sooner, leading the pack with GameStop. Okay, this last retracement for GameStop is not necessarily going to be a retracement. Okay, this last retracement could either, play out the cycle once again, or play out to a T with how GameStop tracked back in the January run-up, January squeeze. And this is exactly what I'm looking at. This is what I'm excited for. I didn't see this in the algorithms until I took a refresher, and I'm very glad I took a refresher. And you can see exactly how GameStop is trading right now. Even if you think I'm wrong based off of everything I just said, look at the sell-off compared to the cycle that I have overlaid in orange. Look at the peak versus the sell-off right here, this volume candle based on the cycle in orange. Look at the peak in orange based on the valley in the regular trading that GameStop has traded, and the same thing goes all the way to where we're trading at now. The peaks to valleys line up with GameStop, and this makes me excited. I'm not going to be that guy on YouTube that comes out and he's like, yo, causing all this hype, and he comes out and he's wrong, because again, I could definitely be wrong. I'm not going to say this is the last chance, this is when GameStop squeezes, when AMC squeezes. I'm saying right now the algorithms really have a chance to kick things off, so make sure to pay attention to that. The last thing that I wanted to close out the video with is that I just uploaded Robinhood 24-hour trading and GameStop to it. Pay attention to what's in that video about GameStop as well. I will leave it right here, right after I tell you about joining the Discord, which is under the video, where we have options, trading alerts, talk stocks all day long, and I'm in there on the daily, so there's no reason not to pop in the Discord. It's literally $1.99. Also, if you want 10 free guaranteed AMC stocks and you're from Australia, download Moomoo using my link and make a deposit. And if you're anywhere else in the world, download Moomoo using my link and make a deposit to get up to 20 free stocks, each valued up to $2,000 per stock, so you're getting a chance at $40,000. Overall, guys, that is it. Hopefully you enjoyed watching or found value out of the video. Make sure to share the video and tag me. I love you. Lottery Stocks out.